All right, we should be live. Waiting for that feed to come through. I'm hoping it does. Come on, show it to me. Give me the juice. Give me the juice. There's the juice. All right, we love that. Okay, so hey guys, welcome to another wonderful week of the ZombSquad Podcast. We are the ZombSquad crew. I'm Jack, and I've got Spike with me here today. Kyle, God knows where he is. He's lost in the dark ether.
He's MIA.
He's MIA. My guy's lost. But he might join us a bit later on. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. But joining us this week to talk about all things Division Z. No, not Division C. What am I about? Firebase Z. That one right there. I've been on the Division C podcast. I've been on the podcast 2 weeks back to back. So that name is just like stuck in my head. So that's completely my bad. But we do have a returning guest this week. Clarky. We have our boy Clarky joining us this week.
We high and ready to roll, boys.
He is ready to roll. How are you, Clarky? How's things?
Doing fine. I drank a lot of Pepsi. I feel prepared, and I'm high as hell. So yeah.
All right, awesome. That's good to know. Okay, and hello to wait, we just drag this over here. So hello to Top and Lewis in the chat. Good to see you guys. This is gonna be an interesting week, that's for sure. Because we've got a fair bit to talk about. We've got a few down in the description. You'll see the main topics that we're going to go over today. The first one being, which I will pull up on screen for you guys right now. Talking about the trailer. The trailer for Firebase Z. Finally with us. Now I have a lot of thoughts on this trailer. And I will play it. I'll play it on mute. How about that? That works. Yeah, mute. There we go. I'll put it on... not play as a 360 video. I want to repeat. There we go. Boom. All right, we'll have that playing on the side just so you guys know what we're talking about. But yes, this trailer. We finally got the trailer. I had a feeling it would come out Thursday. That's for sure. Because it was more logical for them to release the trailer a week before the actual map releases. It just made a lot of sense. And considering they said all of their stuff is going to be released now on a Thursday, it was just common sense for it to release that day, which it did. And, well, I'm going to ask Clarky first. So, Clarky, what are your thoughts on this trailer? What did you like? What didn't you like about it? Let us know.
Dude, my mind's never been so blown in my life. I am really interested with this map particularly. Now, I know there's a lot of people out there saying reuse assets, but I'm not going to get into that. But the map itself as a whole looks really interesting. I like how we are getting maybe some IW mechanics in there, because we see Raznov in there and he's interacting with us saying, hey, welcome Requiem to Vietnam.
Yes.
In Zombies in Spaceland, you could interact with celebrities. In Zombies Spaceland, you had David Hasselhoff, and you had to do that for the Easter eggs. I forget about Beast from Beyond because that doesn't involve that. But for the other maps, to do the Easter egg, you had to interact with the celebrity cast, and I get the feeling they're going to do the same thing with that. So I think that is really cool. The intro cutscene, we did see a bit of the intro cutscene at the start, which I found really interesting. We saw some of it. Dude, she'd be kicking ass though, like obviously. Right?
She'd be going ham.
She'd be going in ham, lads. But yeah, I really did like how the trailer played out. It wasn't like super like bright or anything like the map itself, but it looks badass. And honestly, as a whole, it really does just bring that hype, because if you're talking about zombies as a whole, just zombies, just doesn't matter about the story, what crew, whatever. The last zombies map we would have that was new, not a remake, would be Ancient Evil. But if we're talking Ether, it would have been the last newest map we got was Gorod. This, I'm considering a new map. Like, we haven't had Ether placed in this, so it is considered a new map. So, boys, God knows how many years later, but we've made it. We've made it. I don't necessarily have any dislikes about this. For the trailer, like, the map looks great, and I don't care whether this is on the map or not. I just think this would be cool. I'm just surprised they didn't show anything like Dark Ether related. Well, like going into a Dark Ether realm of Firebase Z, like we saw the portal and we're teleported to a different area. I
Mhm.
thought it might have lead us to a darker area of just everything related to Firebase Z. Obviously, that doesn't seem to be the case. Maybe it's in the map. I don't know because we saw Dark Ether stuff related in there. We saw the crystals and stuff, but there doesn't seem to be anything relating to like the whole map changing into this dark, brighter, like more colorful world.
Yes.
I don't necessarily mind that, but if anything, I would have wished to seen that. So I really don't have any dislikes at the moment. All in all, I thought the trailer was amazing. The Wonder Weapon looks really cool. I know like some people might say, oh, it's a simple AK-47 variant, but it's the way it's like, I don't know. I'm getting some Rhaegar Mark III vibes from it because you have the noob tube effect that he makes at the start when he shoots, and then he shoots all the normal bullets into it, and then it explodes. So I think if you do the noob tube effect from that wonder weapon, it just makes like a weird spiral cosmo whatever, and then if you shoot into that, it'll make an explosion like the Regal Mark III, but totally different. But all in all, I necessarily don't have any likes or dislikes. I am very, very excited to play the map. And yeah, there's really not all much to go on apart from the fact that I'm hyped as hell. I'm hyped.
No, that's awesome. And like, it was interesting what you were saying just quickly as well. Kenzie, I do see you in the chat, dude. Hello, it's been a long time. Glad you're here, my guy. But just what you were saying about like last original either map since Gorod Crovey, and the way you look at this as an original map as well. I'm very much the same from watching the trailer. This does look like the first kind of original map we've got since Gorod Crovey, but I'm just hoping that it. But it's also an interesting fact that it's considered to be the most original map since Gorod Crovey, and yet we have a Gorod Crovey boss coming back into this map. Like, I find that very, very ironic in a really weird way. But Spike, what are your thoughts on the trailer?
Imagine bitching complaining about reused assets when War at War Zombies were literally just multiplayer maps.
Yeah, that's a good way of putting it. But yeah, what do you think about it?
That's like one big point. Like, just there's no reason to bitch about reused assets when every Zombies map has been reusing assets, no matter how big or small it is. I'm really surprised that the Mangler's coming back. I would have never expected
That's
that
something
ever.
I would never expected.
Oh yeah.
I would say that was probably the biggest surprise of the whole trailer for me. Like,
yeah.
I mean, granted, the big Elder God boss at the very end of the trailer, that was the big, that to me was the wow factor of the trailer, and that got my excitement level raised up. However, the Mangler returning was the biggest surprise.
I figured that the Elder God was gonna be, in future zombie maps, because Rizzo, like you know how like he's been doing commissions of like rendering models and all that stuff.
Yep.
And he was keeping up the date of like shortly after launch, they Treyarch textured the Elder God. Like, you know how like in Doom Machine it's not textured at all, but they but like shortly after launch, he noticed that they finally textured it. So I knew it was gonna come back in some way.
But did you think this soon though?
Probably not this soon. Actually, maybe as like a boss fight for the end of the Easter egg, but like not in like probably like in main game.
I mean, that's kind of the vibe that it gives off though, because it's like it's there. It comes into the map and shoots like one giant beam, which I would imagine is going to be his main form of attack. But it's definitely more of a final Easter egg boss vibe than like a big boss in the map vibe, kind of like a Panzer or Brutus scenario.
Maybe it's similar to the Attack of the Radiator thing, where the boss is always in the map, but like at the end he is the boss.
Yeah.
Like at the end of the Easter egg.
That's possible. Like, there's a lot of scenarios they can go about this. It's definitely, again, it is the wow factor for me, because I didn't think they would be bringing that boss in this early on in the DLC cycle. I thought they
Yeah.
would. I honestly thought they would save it up until maybe DLC 3 or 4. If I'm being truly honest, he sounds more like a big finale boss, doesn't he?
Yeah, very.
And
But
so,
like if you think about it, like seeing the Elder God and D Machine, and then like him bringing in Firebase Z as well, and him potentially being the final boss fight, they definitely have more like crazy shit up their sleeves.
yeah, they got a lot of surprises. I will give them that. Like,
Also, can we just talk about for a second how the new I'm just gonna call him Frog because he looks like a frog. Can we just talk about how it's literally just gonna be prop hunting zombies?
oh, I know that's when I found that out.
Into objects. That's gonna be scary eyes.
It's gonna be like we're gonna be running past some kind of lamppost, and he's just gonna appear out of nowhere. Like that's I find that really hilarious. But if there's an actual prop hunt in zombies that's fully released, that'd be so much fun. I would love to play.
Oh yeah, it'd be cool as fuck.
I gotta admit though, go on.
Go on.
All I was gonna say was that with the way the boss looks, he definitely is. He's the thing is, I'm not quite sure if he's gonna be kind of a plague hound type boss, or if he's gonna be a megaton type boss.
Yeah.
Like,
I feel like there is gonna be plague hounds still, but like,
please no.
there's just 3 fucking boss zombies in the map.
Yeah, which that gets me, wondering: are these guys going to be the plague hounds of the map, and then the mangler's going to be the megaton of the map? Like, I'm just trying to get that in my head, because those I really don't know what the fuck to call them. What did you call them? The frogs.
The frogs.
Yeah, the frogs.
All right, the frogs. We're just gonna say the frogs.
Look like a frog.
We're gonna say the frogs until we know their official name. But the frogs, they definitely give off like they could easily have their own boss round, like the plague hounds.
Yeah.
They definitely give off that perspective, but then again, they could easily turn it around, and maybe not have a max ammo round, and we're just dealing with these guys and the manglers. Maybe that's gonna be the case.
Yeah.
Yeah, we haven't. What was the last time we had a zombies map where there wasn't a dog round?
There wasn't a dog round.
Ancient Evil?
Or like max ammo round. Yeah, Ancient Evil.
Wow, it's really Ancient Evil. Oh,
Yeah,
wow,
because Chaos
okay.
never had any dog rounds or max.
Oh, that's
rounds.
true.
Well,
Yes,
apart
they
from
never
9,
did.
Apart from 9. But that's
Apart from
Yeah,
9.
apart from 9. But they had the tigers though, so that's kind of understandable.
Yeah, Ancient Evil.
Wow, that seems like so long ago.
Yeah, Ancient Evil
really
released in
does.
like March or April. No, yeah, pretty sure March or April.
Have you
Yeah,
heard?
March,
Have
I
you heard
think.
that the mini boss can change into orphanary objects? Sorry, I was really struggling to pronounce that word then. Yeah, that's what we were just talking about, Kenzie. It is an interesting concept. And like, have we had shape-shifting bosses in the past?
Oh, absolutely not.
No, this is something like I think this is one of like the most wackiest but like coolest ideas like they've ever done.
Mhm.
I think it's a cool ass idea.
Yeah, I agree. I just hope the mechanic is well done and doesn't become an annoying like personality.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like if like not I hope it doesn't become as annoying as the zombies just jump scaring you on World War II, like just randomly, like that kind of annoying.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't want like World War II, like the final rank jump scare levels.
Yeah, no, we really don't want that. I don't want that kind of mechanic. It was a good mechanic, but it was just played out wrong. Like they really
It
didn't.
was better in the Darkest Shore because it was super rare.
Yeah.
Yeah, Darkest Shore was really rare for it to happen.
Yeah, that's why it worked so well for the Darkest Shore. But then I don't think it really ever happened after that.
Yeah.
No, it was interesting, but also it was like the thing with the wonder weapon is as well. Like I look at the wonder weapon, and I think the thing that I like the most about it is it gives off the experimental weapon like style. The way it's designed, it gives off like it literally looks like a prototype of something that they're making.
It's like the Wonderwolf of like the story, like like it's like something that they were like, it's like a prototype.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. And I'm trying to think of there was other weapons that they gave off that same thing of they looked like they had like all the wires showing and they looked like proper prototypes. I cannot think what it was.
The Wonderwolf kind of had that vibe, but it was more like finished-ish.
Was it something in BO4? No, I don't think so. And it'll probably come to me a bit later on. But that's probably what I like the most about this wonder weapon. It does look cool, the whole grenade launcher, and then you shoot it and it gives off this big energy blast situation. I really like that.
Yeah.
That's an interesting concept. And it was like you were saying, Clarky, that does bear a lot of resemblance to the Mark III, but not too much resemblance where people can say, oh, it's just a regular Mark III. It's just like, no, this is something that's going to be different.
Yeah, it's different from the Mark III, but it works the same way. So that's basically it. It's just completely different because regular Mark III, on the left side, you shoot a yellow orb, and on the right side, just shoot the ray gun shot into the yellow orb. Boom. In this case, it works the same way, but it has a different effect to it.
Yeah.
The ray gun was just a black hole. And in this case, this thing explodes. So it has the same mechanic as the Mark III, but the effect is completely different.
Yeah, I do like the design of it. There's a lot I'm looking forward to in this map. I also really like how the map is split into two. You have the village, and then you have the base. And I think,
like that.
But also, like, what do we make of the whole, like, those crystals that were being charged up, and then it emitted this kind of spherical, like an under the dome type situation. What do we think about that?
I have a feeling that's an Easter egg step.
Yeah, like there was, my most curious thing is that there's like a purple border on one side of the map. Like there's just purple outlines around the whole entire map. Like
Noah J pointed that out. Like it looks like that the base is like completely isolated.
Yeah, so I was really confused with that. But as for the crystals, when they turn on, it's like you might turn them on, and then you might need to do a lockdown protect it until they fully turn on, and then after that, like we see like there's like fans that turn on and they're all purple. Maybe we need to do something with them, but I don't know because like we saw 3 screenshots of them when Trevor were teasing this in 3 different areas. So the one we saw in the trailer isn't the only one. There is 3 others, but all I know is that like for an Easter egg set, it's a possibility. I could also see it as a way for power. I'm not saying that's the case, but for an Easter egg set, I'm saying that it's a possibility.
Yeah, I didn't. It's possible.
I didn't think of that. Possibly it being power.
I can see it as a way for power because it spreads out the whole entire map, and I just saw there, Jack. Actually, that leads to my point. So, when we see a bigger version of the crystal area, one of the computers turn on once it's on. So it's like power does turn on in that specific area. So maybe for the 3.
Yeah, probably it is just power.
Yeah. So but depending on where those Ethereum crystal jars is, it only powers up power in that specific area.
Ooh, maybe it's like the origins generator.
That is a good point. That it could be like the origins generator, yeah. Could be like the origins generator.
So for guys in chat, also hello Zazu in chat. Good to see you here, man. This is the bit we're actually talking about here. So if I fast forward here a little bit, there you can see
there's 2 in that room.
You can see the soul come out of the zombie, the blue soul type scenario, and then once that's done, boom, it changes to purple and emits like some kind of beam, which I'm gonna presume is like Darky the Connected.
Yeah.
But then these turn purple. So that might mean some kind of indication that it's turned like that it's on. That possibly power was on.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
and
in
it does
that
this, like,
era,
this
it's
dumb
super
effect
dark.
like Zombies Onslaught.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just want to get a shot of the. Oh yeah. Also, I gotta bring this up. The mad lad, Tombstone. We got a glimpse of the perk machine.
Yes.
I'm glad it's a new machine.
I am glad that's a new machine.
I love this makeover, and I'll tell you why.
Oh yeah,
Because
it's gorgeous.
it is a literal resemblance of a gravestone,
It literally is.
and
It
that's what I
also,
love about
like
it.
the whole like skull, the skull on the machine as well. That's similar to like Avenged Sevenfold.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking when I saw the can. I was like, yeah, I like the little reference
Avenged Sevenfold.
of like there and there. It looks great, and I'm so glad they gave it a good looking makeover, like they did with Deadshot. They gave Deadshot a good looking makeover. They've done the same with
Yeah.
Tombstone.
Same with Quick Revive and Speed Cola.
Yeah,
They look amazing.
I'm very happy. Like, what was it? It was like earlier on. I thought we got a glimpse of it. Trying to remember where it was. But there was a part that showed. I think it was when they first teleported into the base here.
It's when they first teleport to the base and an overview of the whole entire map. You see it in like the middle bit of it.
There. I've got a feeling that is too. So we're saying that once we teleport back in, as soon as we teleport like through the gateway, boom, there's Tombstone for our purchase.
Yeah.
Possible.
Also, like, it was interesting because Pete was saying that he thinks this map looks a lot like Array.
That side of the map, the side where they teleport into, it reminds me of Array. Yeah. I think it's assets from Array, but they've just changed the way it looks completely. Like, it's got the big satellite and everything. That's the one thing that looks the same. But, like, the other bits, they look like they've just changed a tiny bit. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe that's just me.
No, I definitely see it. Especially with the satellite, I can definitely see. I can see the Array resemblance, but I was saying that it looks more like Oh yeah, just take a shot on this guy. I was saying it looks more like the Blackout Array.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Because when I saw that, people were saying Array from campaign on my channel. I was like, no. Blackout boys.
Yeah, it definitely.
I'm still thinking. Well, I'm still holding out that it's going to be like a similar layout to Shino Nu.
You reckon?
Yeah.
Oh.
I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised.
I mean, that's what the leak said. I'm kind of. I would like to see some resemblance to Shino Numa.
I think, like, isn't the only confirmed little resemblance of Shino Numa the names of the places they're taken from the huts?
Oh well, that was in the campaign. There was like Doctor's quarters and like in the Firebase Ripcord.
Yeah.
They just had a bunch of Shino Numa assets, and like for like no reason at all.
What was on that guy? Oh man, if he's the final boss, I'm gonna lose it. That's gonna be. But we're finally gonna get a boss fight. You know, like a proper boss fight, not like a lockdown type scenario, which we got in D Machina.
Yeah.
I get the feeling that the Elder God could be the boss because I'm seeing it as a Raven the Red Witch trailer type of point. If it is, I'm not going to be disappointed because he looks cool as hell, but I wouldn't want to show it in the trailer because that kind of spoils it. But I'm seeing it as a Raven the Red Witch trailer aspect because when Raven the Red Witch released, well, the trailer, we saw the whole map, everything, and we saw the boss, the slasher, when you go into the rave mode, when you get high. Yeah. Uh, but what happens is basically at the end of the trailer, we see a big version of the slasher, which is the super slasher, and that ends up being the final boss for Raven Redwoods. I wouldn't be surprised if they did the same here, but it's like, I don't hate that they do that, but it's because it's cool. It's a cool boss, but the surprise of knowing that that is the specific boss is like cool.
Yeah.
Stuff.
You can, Jack, where you pause it there, you can see that the players are shooting at the Elder God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, and there's also a wallbite right there.
Yeah, it's
If he's somehow not the final boss, I don't know how that's going to work, but damn, something.
It's interesting. The Craig F has just brought up in chat. He said, "Isn't that one of the elder gods mentioned in the intel that claimed they were on our side? If the
I haven't read the intel.
if the players
I have,
weren't
that's why I was
shooting,
confused.
if the players weren't shooting at him, I would honestly believe that. But the fact that they're attacking him and he's got some kind of beam,
Laser beam.
and as he shoots it, the players they kind of come back a bit after he shoots the beam, which has got me thinking he's definitely going to be one of the enemy elder gods. Oh, and also, if he is the final boss, for the love of God, give him a health bar, because we need a health bar in the final boss fight.
Agreed.
Yes.
That's a DMR wallbite.
The intel about what Craig said in your chat, I see it like the Apothicons. Like in Revelations, we had a friendly Apothicon keeper. There is being friendly Apothicon keepers, and then we have the non-good friendly Apothicon keepers. I can see this as maybe as a corrupted elder god who's just maybe being corrupted by the Dark Ether, and he's just turned bad. But then there's like a way to make him good, maybe. Don't know, but just an idea because
Yeah, I mean it's definitely possible. He's shooting at an object in the distance, maybe an E step. You have to get him to hit something. Oh, kind of like
that
is true. He isn't shooting at our players. That's true. If we're unless it's like someone typing from far away doing some 360 no scopes or some crap, but like
yeah, we only see 2 people.
There's only 2 people though.
So it's possible there is a player back here, and that's where he's firing a beam at. But it's interesting that like what Craig says though, it's likely because we have had that in the past with Ancient Evil. We had to get the Giganese to hit the crystal in order for us to get the path for Ra. So
yeah,
it's definitely possible.
Big Brain Jack. Yeah, that's true. That's definitely true.
There's a lot of possibilities, and hell, I'm very interested to see what this Easter egg's going to be like. You know,
I definitely see it being way tougher than D Machine.
Oh god, I hope so. D Machine's one was a bit too easy.
It's like it was Origins, but only secure the keys, and then boss fight.
Yeah.
Yeah, if anything, like I can see it like them only making it for just the start of the game, D Machine. It's a map that you know on top of the map, which is not, and then underground it's just a new area that we've never seen before. And then it's a simple Easter egg personally. And just all in all, gets you new to the mechanics. There's a lot of new mechanics in Cold War compared to other games. You've now got variants in the game. You've now got the Warzone armor system within just zombies in particular. There's a lot of new mechanics that we have gotten within Cold War Zombies compared to old mechanics. So I can see as well, D Machine was just that map to simply start you off on a simple Easter egg, simple map, personally again, and just to get you used to the mechanics. And now that Firebase Z looks big as hell. And looks like it'll take more than, please to God, more than 2 hours to find the goddamn Easter egg. But that's it.
Yes, let's hope it does take longer than that.
I don't hate the fact that I don't care how long the Easter eggs are found. I just think it's more interesting because along the way, when it comes to long Easter eggs, you can find some more stuff in the back. Like you can find side Easter eggs, maybe a free wonder weapon or just something that's super helpful or interesting to the storyline.
Yeah.
But the longer the Easter eggs are able to find, the more interesting it gets. Sure, there's glitches, there's bugs. I'm not talking about Revelations or Black Ops 4. Fuck that. But apart from that, it's like it's interesting, and that's why like Revelations, the steps never made sense. It was disappointing, sure, but the hype building up to like the boss fight arena in Revelations is a cool. It's super cool, easy as hell, but it's cool. And in general, like I just think a long Easter egg just builds up more hype. Again, if this one's short as well, could care less. I do not care, but I just think it's more interesting and more cool for the community to just bond together to just help find this Easter egg. Unless you're like the one and man only geeky goddamn pastimes with like the biggest brain in the goddamn zombies community right now.
Yeah, I mean,
I really do hope it takes a while to solve.
Yeah. Because like Raven Redwoods was the shortest Easter egg to find, 6 hours. And D Machine took kid you not, Friday it releases. I'm mad because I have driving lessons for 2 hours. I'm like, alright, as soon as I come back, we be Easter egg hunting. Had a team, everything. Come back, and I apparently noticed on the last night, I'm like, yo, for real right now?
also one last question.
The problem with like the D Machine solve was that people had it early. I had the game early.
Yeah, that's also true.
Yep, that's, and again, we've seen that before. again with World War II.
Yeah.
Solved literally before launch.
But one last question before we move into the next main topic. Do you guys think that this Easter egg is going to be locked again, or is it going to be available from launch?
Available from launch.
I want it to be locked, but if anything, I'm gonna say launch as well.
Okay.
All
Alright,
it's the most like. If anything, that's probably what the case is going to be, where it's not locked. But I could see it being locked. Don't get me wrong. But if anything, we'll just need to see on release. Because again, Treyarch could be doing good with communication this year compared to Black Ops 4.
yes, very true.
If anything, I can guarantee you that they would say something. But if they don't, there's no way it's locked. That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
Personal experience? Nah.
Guys in chat as well, let me know what you if you think it's going to be locked, if you think it's going to be locked on launch, or it's going to be available from launch. Let me know in chat as well. All right, guys, with that down, let's get into the second main topic today. Now, two years later. Now, this is courtesy of my boy, Mystery HQ, who I follow on Twitter. He follows me as well. He retweeted. I think it's a French guy.
It was French.
Yeah. Okay. So he retweeted this French guy who found a certain part of the Blood of the Dead Easter egg that more or less is showing you the Morse code. And I will show you right here.
I fucking knew it, dude.
Dude, I had a feeling there'd be something to this. And Jack, I don't know if you remember this, but as soon as I saw this, and I said I'd be down to hop on the podcast again, when me and Gold were on the podcast, and you were talking about how like Easter eggs from like years from now, like you said, oh, Blood of the Dead. Like a few years later, there'd be an Easter egg found, and now it happens. I just found that the weirdest coincidence.
It's honestly shocked me, like, because I will back Spike up. He has been saying for the longest time there must be something else to help with that step to make it a lot more easier, particularly for solo players as well. Like, so they can quickly run in, do the code, and boom, it's done. And what does this French guy find? Literally that. Like, so
here's what I said. Here's what I said to Jack after like a few runs of like Blood of the Dead Easter egg. And I quote, there has to be some sort of like lamp or something outside the map that tells us what the Morse code is.
Yeah.
End quote.
Yeah, because I remember one of Lex's videos, Mr. T-Lex, sorry. He was playing Blood of the Dead and he was on the Morse code step. Apparently, a lamp in the warden's house was it, and it was going too quick. I was like, "There's no way that's the goddamn Morse code." Till this day, I would probably still guess the Morse code over doing this.
Mhm.
Sure, it's helpful. Like, if it was speedruns to just get one and done with in co-op, definitely would do this. But for solo, because I've done it so many times by guessing it, I'm just used to it by now and I understand patterns. But still,
Yeah.
to find something like, and people still complained about Morse code steps and like clock steps and stuff. Morse code steps, if you're one of the people who complained about the Blood of the Dead Morse code step, here's your fix. It's literally right there.
Yeah. Like with this style of like Morse code, it isn't like that bad because it's always like a short pattern.
It's short, yeah.
But the tweet comes.
Sometimes it can be long, but that's very rare.
So it was found by Mr. David on Twitter, and the tweet, I will translate the tweet for you guys on the stream here. The tweet says, "The find of the evening was this Morse code that nobody knew for the stage in question. It's so much faster now to do it, but also to point out, where is it? I must find it. Actually, I think it's in my bookmarks. This one here. He also says, precision. You shouldn't trust the lights, but the sound. In the clip, we see 3 short, 2 long, but we hear 4 short, 1 long. The one to enter." So he's saying don't 100% trust the light, but 100% trust the sound.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, but even then, even if you're just standing there and trying to hear what the sound is, you know, if it is different from the light, it's still 10 times faster than trying to guess the motherfucker.
Yeah.
Like, it blows my mind that this, like, people are still finding shit in Shadows of Evil to this day. It's quite, like, it blows my mind that there are community members out there that are so dedicated to finding this stuff out. And long and behold, we get stuff that makes possibly, which people literally rank like as one of the worst Easter eggs because like it isn't solo friendly and because it is such a pain in the ass. Stuff like this can make it better. And honestly, I'm being truthful. I want to go back and do Blood of the Dead's Easter egg.
All right, bet.
I want to go back and do it, and I want to see how accurate this thing is.
I thought I'd do it with a friend. I attempted to do it with a friend like a few days ago, and oh my god, I've never experienced hell in my life. It's just constant RNG of still like not getting monkey bombs from the box to open the door early. It's absolute hell.
Well, that's why you got to do the free monkey bomb Easter egg.
Spike, I'm really lazy, man. And to get that tier 2 specialist, I'm wasting all my talismans, my guy.
It is extraordinary. I think he actually goes and does the code. So let me see what he puts in here.
I really like this Easter egg.
Yeah, okay, so
I really like Bloods. Yeah, it's frustrating, but like the whole story behind it as a whole is like really cool. Like the only steps I necessarily find frustrating, I don't even find the bird step frustrating, and people say that's the most frustrating step ever. I think most people would say that is mainly because of the fact that you need to go rounds, but I don't think that's the
4
worst
short,
step.
1 long.
I don't even find the Morse code steps bad. If anything, the steps that I really just hate the Simon Says step out of all of them because it's super long solo. Like you need to have it back and forth and back and forth. It's like that's the one step that I hate in the Easter egg. If I have to be honest right now, I have no problems with the Blood of the Dead Easter egg apart from that step. I like the Simon Says step, don't get me wrong, I find it cool. But god damn, it is long and tedious as hell.
I'm good at doing the second part of it, but like the first part kind of struggle with it a little bit.
If I'm on solo streaming, it's fine, but it's like if I want to memorize it off by heart, it's like no, just no.
Okay, yeah. So I've literally just watched that back with sound. Yeah, the sound is 4 short, 1 long, and he puts that into the code, and it's exactly that. Like,
jeez, my man, Mr. David, my man's a Maslow.
Right, it's crazy. And yeah, I do want to go, like, I can't believe I'm saying this, but I want to reinstall BO4 and I want to go and do Blood's Easter egg to properly try this out.
I do too.
Said that. I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of people said that and they're figuring that out.
I think I might do that for maybe I don't know. I'll see. But that's what I want to do at some point. It blows my mind that this is found 2 years later.
Black Ops 4, one of the most hated games, along with Blood of the Dead being the most hated maps. Oh, look at it now.
Thing is, though, like, okay, yeah, Blood of the Dead isn't one of my favorite maps of all time, but it isn't a bad map. Like the Easter egg is okay, but that's with people.
Yeah, solo, it's
an absolute pain in the butthole.
Yeah, we need to move on, lads.
But I'm just like, I don't know. There's just something about it that I can't. Part of me, the thing is, right? Part of me wants to like Blood of the Dead. A part of me does, and that's for the fact that it's a Mob of the Dead remake, and Mob of the Dead is one of my favorite maps of all time.
Mm-hmm.
But I just think they changed so much, and they made not to mention as well, they made the Hell's Redeemer such a pain in the arse to get, and so finicky, and they made the Easter egg so long-winded that, honestly, my favorite part of the Easter egg is being locked in the cell.
Dude, it's literally the coolest thing ever for an Easter egg as well. Not only are you in a cell full of literally dog shit and a toilet, but you can chill.
Yeah, like it's bonkers. But you know what? I'm wondering if this one little thing might change my perspective on Blood ever so slightly. I think it's going to be the same for a lot of people, that this one little thing to make the Easter egg that bit more easier to actually complete. Is it going to change people's perspectives?
It's possible, because before this was figured out, I remember Pizza was playing with Lex on Blood of the Dead doing the Easter egg. Because Pizza was doing all the Easter eggs on one stream, Treyarch only, and Lex said, "Oh, he'd be down to do Bloods," surprisingly, and Pizza was going on about how he likes Blood over Mob. Sure, he likes Mob, but he likes the challenge Blood gives, and just everything. And I was surprised for someone like Pizza, and I know he loves zombies till this day, so I wouldn't be surprised if he liked Blood, but just the way the Blood Easter egg works, I was surprised for him to just specifically say the Easter egg he loves the most.
Yes.
And I said this last time, I like all the games, I like all the maps, I don't hate any. I'll like ones better than others, but I don't hate any. So I like the Blood Easter egg. But as a whole, when they were doing that Easter egg, Lex had fun doing that Easter egg. And that, honest to God, I remember people now, if people bring up Black Ops 4, the only complaint I hear is the mechanics. Literally, all they say is, take the BO4 maps, put them in BO3, bam, they're good. That's literally all I hear now. That's all I hear for Black Ops 4 complaints.
Like, I have to be truthful with you. Like, I always put a fine line between disliking a map and hating a map. And there's really only one map that I truly hate above all of the others. What are you saying?
Is it Terrorize? Is it Transit?
It's neither of those two.
Oh, sweet Jesus.
Like Transit is fun with friends, and I will say that on stream. Transit is fun with friends, and I played DannWillz with Spike for ZombSquad After Hours, and I actually had fun on that map.
Yeah, DannWillz can be fun.
Like, and so it's neither of those two. It's Dead of the Night.
Oh,
It's Dead of the Night.
okay.
Dead of the
I'm
Night
not surprised.
is the
I know a lot of people hate Dead of Night.
only zombie map I hate. Hate with a capital H. Like, I cannot even fathom how much I despise that map. Like, there are maps I dislike. Yeah, I dislike DannWillz, but it can be fun. I dislike Transit, but it can be fun. I dislike Blood of the Dead, but honestly, just playing it normally can be fun. But Dead of the Night, I never have fun on that map whatsoever, no matter what I'm doing.
The one thing I will say for haters who like this is the one reason that I will never get. And sure, this sucked for Dead and Night. This truly sucked. The marketing for that map was god awful, but that doesn't like make the gameplay bad.
No.
I wouldn't use that as an excuse. Like, not the marketing. Marketing was shit. Don't get me wrong, but for like using it as gameplay just to say the map's bad, no, that's a big no. But Dead and Night in the community, from what I've seen, is 50-50. I know a lot of people who love Dead and Night. I know a lot of people who hate Dead and Night. I know Joe Met who bloody puts Dead and Night over Ancient Evil. Like, I'm surprised because Dead of the Night is, I don't know. I didn't think it was a bad map because there was a lot of aspects in the map that I liked. I remember Maniac Killer from No Fun School. My man's, I remember when I first talked to this man. Literally, I asked him, saying, "Is Dead and Night your favorite map?" Says no. Literally, my man's has played Dead and Night over 100,000 times and will probably play it until the day he dies. Like, lads, like I've never seen a man play so much Dead and Night in my life.
Wow, that's quite something. But oh god, it always does this. But yeah, no, it's like. But again, that's just my personal opinion. People like Dead of the Night, people like Dead of the Night, that's completely fine. Like, I'm not gonna judge anybody for liking Dead of the Night. It's just I hate the map, and that's my own personal preference on it.
Yeah, that's your personal preference.
Like, but I'm not gonna straight up go to someone who actually likes Dead of the Night and go, no, you're wrong. Dead of the Night's a bad map. Like, I'm not gonna straight up I'm not gonna straight up say that to somebody if they like it. Like, I'm not that kind of person. I'm not some of these people in the community that are just so toxic that no matter that every single opinion that other people have is wrong. Like, I'm not one of those people, and I never ever want to be one of those people ever. Okay, so let's get into main topic number 3, and that's going through 3 things that we would like to see in future DLC maps. It can be anything from bosses to weapons to game mechanics to, like, I don't know, it perks. Like, it could be anything. So, Clarky, what would you say are 3 things that you would like to see in a future DLC?
I am a fan of the boss fight arenas that, like, any studio makes for zombies. I am a big fan of boss fight arenas. Deadly Arm. I'm going to take Revelations here. I think that was one of the coolest. Definitely. Nines was simple because, like, it didn't feel like the main arena in the middle, but it felt like more of an expanded version with the 2, like, stone towers or whatever, or the one. I don't know. I can't remember. Like, there's cool boss fights. And then there's cool boss fight arenas. Void of Despair. The map's a pain in the ass. Don't get me wrong. I like the map though. But the boss fight is amazing.
I agree.
I just wish it had an arena. I wish that map had an arena. A Titanic boss fight arena would have been sick. Like, not a part of the map that we've already discovered. Like, Blood of the Deads. I thought it was cool because it literally looks like that bit of the map, just purgatory and full of hell. And before you even go into that boss fight, if you just look when jumping up from the catwalk stairs, it's full of like red dust and like, I don't know, it looks cool, but definitely not one of the best. I just really want cool ass boss fight arenas. I like Horizon Drax, but Horizon Drax is, I don't want to say this to piss people off, but it's like,
speak your mind.
As much as I love Horizon Drax, I find the boss fight arena is simple. It's a simple circle with redness and dragons. Cool as fuck. Do not get me wrong, but it's simple, in my opinion. Like
That's fine.
Revelations, it's simple as well, but it's like I don't know. I like the vibrantness it brings off, and like Dead of the Nights, the way they used the statues for the gameplay to kill the boss, thought that was cool, but I don't know. But boss fight arenas, that would be like just cool ass boss fight arenas. That'd be my top thing. And like Gore Grovies, even though we already see it in the map, like we saw the intro cutscene. We didn't even need to play the game to know where the boss fight arena would happen.
Mm-hmm.
But the general area of where the boss fight arena happens is cool. So my number one spot for 3 things I want to see in future DLCs and stuff for zombies, cool ass boss fight arenas. I don't care. I love them to shit. Second, I don't necessarily really know because like the music in zombies as a whole. Because I was gonna mention music, but I don't know if I'd say this as future because there's a lot of good zombie songs I like that are absolute amazing, and I really like Day Machines. But if anything, maybe music, not necessarily sure, but for future DLCs, if anything, I'd want. I think this is. I know this might be a shit answer here, but I am going to say survival maps. Like maybe make it so. It like in a sense, survival maps could make you better at zombies. Like take D Machine, take Nacht. That's it. That's literally it. It's just a survival map of Nacht, but it's in the D Machine era. It could make you good on the actual map D Machine, just on that one specific map. And then if they made different areas for just one specific map, maybe the quick revive area or some shit. Like I don't know. I just think Cold War has so much potential that it needs maps. Survival maps even. Literally, if I ask like my man Expert Fusion right now, my mans would probably go, yeah, we need an art survival. Like I'm glad they took their time with Firebase Z, because again, we got told that this was supposed to be on launch, but obviously it never happened. And I'm glad they're taking their time and they're not rushing it like BO4. But especially with Onslaught there as well. I think Onslaught's cool, but it's like it's not there. Like
Yeah.
I can see Onslaught only doing well as of right now if it's a good multiplayer map that everyone knew was coming back. Raid and Black Ops Cold War, I've never seen anything motherfucking beautiful in my life. Like play that shit on Onslaught, it's amazing. But I don't know. It's in general, if Onslaught had to do well, it would have to be multiplayer maps that we've already have, and they need to be amazing. And they're bringing Express for Season 1 Reloaded as well, which is cool. But as a whole, I would just have to say survival maps because it does bring more content to the table and it gives more of a challenge for the actual player to just get better at zombies, whether you're just starting off or you're a full-time player on zombies but you still want to boost up your skill. I don't know, it would just really have to be survival maps. And for my third, I'd probably just have to say like game modes, like not the classic zombies game modes where you do the Easter egg like high rounds, nothing much. Because there was cool ass game modes like Torrent and Grief, and like now when I think about it, it's like those game modes can be difficult to bring back. Because take Chaos Story, Chaos Story. If it ever comes back, God Almighty, I'll be surprised. But Jesus, that's not a possibility.
Yeah.
People hate on like Torrent or Grief. One of the two. All I know is that one of them was heavily, and there's a high chance that one of them will never return. But now when like I see now people like, oh, we want Torrents, we want Grief, and it's like, but why would you hate on it in the first place? Like, lads, like now that you've hate on it, there's probably a chance it's not going to come back. And I see people like slowly like people saying, oh, Black Ops 4 wasn't that bad. And then when it comes to zombies specifically, people are like, you know what? Chaos wasn't that bad. I'm like, are you for real right now? Like you make one mind up and the other like a year later. I don't know. I don't hate when people change their opinions, but it's like if you want to see stuff like that continue, it's like you gotta make your public opinion on whether that be Twitter, Instagram, or whatever, like well. Because like I think Black Ops 4 got overly hated. Criticism is needed for stuff to get better, sure. But it's like I have no words. But I think game modes would be cool because, like, Gauntlet I thought was cool. Bring more challenges to the tables on specific maps, and then maybe Rush or something. I don't know. But and like I loved Cranked. Cranked, I'm having fun with. But stuff like Jingle Hells I thought was cool. But if they're adding game modes like Cranked and Jingle Hells, the one thing I want them to do is just make the Easter egg accessible. It would bring more stuff to the table, make it more fun. Apart from that, that's all I have to say. Just more game modes, but make it so the Easter eggs on those specific maps with those specific game modes make it so the Easter egg is accessible. Because I think that'd be interesting to see.
Okay, so your three, you've gone with boss fight arenas, survival maps, and game modes. And I will agree with you on the point that, well, actually, I'll come back to that in a minute because I really, well, at the moment, I only have two for three things.
Yeah.
The first one is map exclusive weapons. Now, map exclusive weapons, I think, is part of what makes a map special. It's why I really liked whether these weapons are standard guns or like specialist weapons. I'm not necessarily saying wonder weapons because they're normally map exclusive anyway. Minus a few. Hey Manabot in chat, good to see you. But like specifically looking at guns. Black Ops 2 and Black Ops 3 were good examples of this. Black Ops 2, you had Mob of the Dead, which had the AK-47, the Uzi, and like you had the Death Machine in the actual box, and then like you had and then Origins, you had the Scorpion, the KSG, the Scar H, the MG08, like
STG.
There was a lot. Well, SCG came out from World of War, didn't it?
Yeah.
And then obviously Black Ops 3, Zetsubo, you had the Razorback, you had the Marshalls, Gorod Krovi, you had the FAMAS, you had the Shadow Claws, the L4 Siege. It's like it's pretty mental, and I think Cold War could benefit from map exclusive weapons. How they would implement them, it would have to be maybe kind of like as part of an update type thing. I don't know, but I would like to see more map exclusive weapons. And hello, Sway in the chat. Yes, it is the real Clarky, the guy himself. He is on here.
Sway?
I'm back. Sorry about that.
That's okay, Sway. And second thing is, I will definitely back up your thing of survival maps. I think survival maps would benefit Cold War very well, and I do 100% back up your comment of survival maps making a player better. Like Nuketown Zombie is considered to be the combat training map of zombies. And like you had Town, which was probably more loved than Transit because it made the player better. But even Farm made the player better because you had no Pack-a-Punch. And so like I think survival maps would be brilliant. Like they should have taken Nacht and made it a survival map. Like they really should have for D Machina. Like it would have been so good. Even if D Machina released in November, right? Say end of December, early January, they released Nacht on Toten as its own little survival map, just to keep the player interest there up until the launch of Firebase Z, which is coming early February. Like I just think survival maps are a good way to keep the player engaged and just keep them going. And hey, Madcap in chat, good to see you. Okay,
I believe I've said it to you before, Jack, that Nacht Survival is supposed to be unlocked after Easter egg.
Yes, you did mention that before.
They literally done this with the Final Reich in World War II.
Yeah.
Where there was the easy Easter egg or the hardcore. You got Groston House, and like there was stuff to do on that survival map though. You had contracts to unlock certain secret characters, but you could only do it on Groston House. Don't necessarily need to play the prologue, but Groston House, when you do the Final Reich Easter egg, play the survival map of that in complete challenges.
Mm-hmm.
There was they unlocked the mystery box on there. and
Yeah.
make it where they're all upgraded in the box. And then the round 50, the Brenner spawns. How you do like one of the character challenges.
Yeah, so if they were to add in survival maps within the future of Cold War, which I still see a possibility, add secret hidden things to do in there. Like, we know there's the die wonder weapon within the door. If they were to add a survival map for that, for D Machine talking about here, there should be like maybe another way to get that door open instead of just relying on the megatons and stuff, but that's it.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Actually, right. So Spike, you came back here actually quite at the right time. We were just going through 3 things that we would like to see in future DLC maps. So I want to know what your 3 would be.
I'm not totally sure.
To shit on birds.
Oh, that too. Yes, of course.
He does that anyway. Like,
I do that with every map anyway. I don't really know. I guess just don't reuse the enemies that are already existing in the game. So like, don't bring back the Megaton. Don't bring back the Frog Boy.
Yeah, because they did this with him to a lot. Like, Final Right?
Yeah, Wolfslings every map.
Yeah, Wilson's every map. Then you got
Brenner.
yeah, you have
Probably,
Brenner. It's like they're cool bosses, but it's like it's not needed for every map.
Yeah, like the moisturers and the technically in the Shattered Throne the Meister moisturers in it, but that's just the outro cutscene.
Yeah, the outro cutscene.
There were Meister moisturers and the Tortured Path. Those are the only times those have been reused. But yeah, just like don't reuse it. Boss zombies are already in.
okay.
New wonder weapon every map.
Yeah.
And I want a clear goal at the end of the game.
A clear goal.
What does that
Yes.
mean?
Like at the end of the DLC season, I want there to be a clear goal.
Oh, right. Okay. Okay. Right. I see.
Yeah. You know what? That would be a good idea. I think giving, which actually I can tie that into what Madcap just said in chat about a super Easter egg. Like give the player something.
Fucking please.
Like give the player something to
like
work
World War
II. Dude, Infinite Warfare. Before the Super Easter egg and Mephistopheles, one of the most hated games. Like, Infinite Warfare Zombie started off good with Zombie Spaceland and maybe Raven the Redwoods. But when we got to Shaolin and Attack and Beast, like, no one really liked it. Like, the hype built up for Beast because cryptids were coming back, but not as much hype. But, like, when people found out there was a super Easter egg where Director's Cut get every single gun from the box is pack a punch, including wonder weapons, along with you starting off with 25,000 points and all perks at the start of the game. It's like, that's mad. That is literally mad. And a boss fight, lads, like the hardest boss fight in the history of zombies, Mephistopheles. That is what that made that game popular. Zombies, specifically zombies in that game, because I see a lot of people saying it's underrated, and I see a lot of people say it's good, but man, the game did start to die down. As much as I love Shaolin Attack and Beast, when those maps came out, it did start to die down until the Super Easter egg came along. And that's what I wish they'd done for BO4, man, because BO4 still had a lot of potential after tagging it out. And then where it was like, if there's a Super Easter egg, I can see this game coming back, because this literally happened with IW. Nope. Cut content and everything, but
yeah.
Cold War is getting a lot of good stuff here. And like, Black Ops 3 did as well. But Black Ops 3 only added in the RK5 at the start. You start off with a full mag with the MR6, and you get cool calling cards. But it's like, we need more than that, man. We need more. And I
feel like with BO3, they were testing the waters.
Yeah. And like, I think now that they've seen like the other game studios like Infinite Warfare and like maybe World War Two, because World War Two had a super Easter egg as well. Like I definitely say World War Two and Infinite Warfare all the way for like better super Easter egg than BO3s, and World War Two just because it had. That's all it is. So literally,
I really
if I had
like
to,
World War II's.
yeah,
Like you play as
you
a
can play as
fucking zombie.
That's awesome. For all we know, we could get a secret operator. We could play as Rick Coffin. I'd be fine with that. I think it's cool as fuck. But if anything, I think 4 has a bunch of potential right now, and like to make the game go even higher at the end of its DLC cycle, a super Easter egg. Jack, I know you said 3, but if I add a bonus, I'm saying a super Easter egg. I never even thought of that.
Okay.
But it needs to be something that we've never seen before.
Yeah, like it can't. If there's, it's going to be difficult if they had to add a more difficult boss than Mephistopheles. It would be like it can't be a boss like a boss that's glitched to insta down you. It would have to be a boss that has the ability to insta down you, because like there's been a bunch of bosses out there that can insta down you through glitches, but like Mephistopheles, he can insta down you because of the abilities he has, not because he's glitched or anything. So it's difficult to make a hard super boss within zombies, but it's still a possibility. But to
Treyarch
make a
is very capable of doing so.
yeah, they definitely are. But to make a hard boss in Mephistopheles, I can't. I wouldn't know how that would work. That would be mental. Like, boys, my man's like Steve couldn't like survive on like Mephistopheles after 50 attempts. He was about to break his goddamn controller.
Just reading what Menabot just put in chat. The sad thing is that most people only think about original Ether maps when we literally had 4 fully original Chaos maps that were just as good, if not better than Ether. Well, it's like, I mean, that's the difference there, is that they are Chaos story maps, and when people and people literally say original Ether maps, they specify Ether because they know about Chaos. And yeah, the last original Ether map was Gorod.
Yeah.
And so it's, you know, it is interesting. Like there are 2 of the Chaos, right, so here's my thing, right? 2 of the Chaos maps are brilliant. 1 of the Chaos maps is okay. 1 of the Chaos maps is utter garbage. And that's just my personal preference on it.
Yeah.
Voyage is garbage until you get to the boss fight. Then the boss fight is fucking phenomenal.
Yeah, that's why I was saying it. That's my okay map. Voyage of Despair is my okay map. Like
God, I like Voyage's steps. I'm a weird person for that. I like the time steps. I like the planets. I don't know.
The planets was a cool
The planet
concept.
step is cool.
I do like
I like the planet step.
But yes, the boss fight is where it's at, 100%.
Yeah,
that
boss fight
is amazing. One of the best in BO3.
I agree. Middlebot, I absolutely agree.
Like, I don't think Chaos done awful because of the characters. No way in hell. The story, I don't even think it was that bad. It was simple, and it started to get better once we figured out it was Medusa with the whole shit at the end of Ancient Evil. I didn't think it was the story or the characters, or not even the maps. Like, I don't even think it was the maps. I think it was just because people just aren't used to the fact that we're getting new characters and it's just not Ether. Like, if the maps were linked to Ether, I swear to God, we would have seen those characters again. And like, there was a possibility for it to like. We saw the Gar Crovey children's statues in Dead of the Night, and that's when I was like, "Hang on, is this shit linked to Ether?"
Yeah, I don't know. It's but just reading what Menno just said. It's part of the community's fault that we still don't have an original map. If the community actually accepted Chaos, we would have probably gotten new maps, but most cannot let go of Ether. That's very true. I completely agree 100%. People, I see people in the what was my Discord. Like, there are people in there that are constantly saying they want to see the old characters back, and that's because they can't let go of them. Like, we need new stuff, constantly having like it. I swear, right? If we see any of the old characters back, I will straight up remove Cold War from my PC. Okay, and I'm saying that on stream as evidence. If we see the original 4 characters back, I'm removing Cold War from my PC because we need to let go of them. They need to be left in the past, and we need
They
new
are
stuff.
fucking dead.
They are just.
The thing is, though,
Don't bring them back.
Like, in a sense, they're not going away, lads. Like, you do realize, like, you can play the same maps over and over again. Like, you're saying the characters, like, you want back. The characters aren't going away. You have previous games, and I know that sounds shit because you want to see them involved, but it's like, keep in mind that these actors are like, they have a lot of shit to do. They can't just rely on this video game. Like, my man's Nolan North, he does Uncharted, he does a lot of movies. Steve Blum, he does a lot of movies. Like, there's a lot of shit, but hey, I'm not one to complain. If those characters came back, I'd be fine. But it's like they're not really going away. Like, we still have previous games, and like previous games that were amazing. You have Origins, a good map. Like, there's a lot of good maps on with those characters. They're not really going away. They're just not continuing.
Yeah, but that's because Origins was their way of extending the Ether story.
Yeah.
Like, after Barry's Endgame, Origins was the only way they could continue it. Like, have a new timeline, establish other versions of our original 4 characters, and then, boom, here comes the multiverse. Like, it's just a simple way around it. Voyage was mad.
Like, they completely... They literally annihilated the whole multiverse. So it's just a one universe now. And the characters are dead. If they bring them back, then Tog's ending doesn't mean shit.
Like, Tag's ending, even though it wasn't CGI, holy shit, it hit me.
It did its job. It absolutely did its job.
It did. And what Metaboss just said is that people just fully ignore the Tag ending. The OG characters are dead. Exactly.
Yeah,
They are dead. They are gone. And yes, I agree with your other comment of you don't need the original 4 characters for a good map. You don't. There are people who love D Machina. There are people who have put D Machina in their top 5 maps. And that's proof.
You just play as multiplayer operator. You can play as Bullets, Adler, Helen Park, etc.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is cool. I like
you
that.
can play as Woods. And like, boys, for all we know, we might be able to play as fucking Samantha Maxis, like, as a future operator for like an Easter egg or something. But it's like,
possible.
My Christ, we do not need them back. Would be cool, but it's not needed.
We don't need them. It's just
it only makes sense for Samantha to be in this story because, you know, she was alive at the end at the Tog ending. She was practically reborn into the one and only universe.
Mm-hmm.
It would have been so much better if it was fully CGI. I couldn't take that ending seriously because of it at the time. Well,
someone is currently making the Alpha Omega and Tog ending outro cutscenes like in CGI.
I agree. I like the art style. The way they did it though was beautiful, but it's like we've been so used to CGI to the point where it's better.
Yeah.
But that Tag cutscene.
Well, even if they didn't have Alpha Omega's ending as CGI, just like fully went in with Tag's ending as CGI, I think that would have hit people a lot harder.
Yeah.
And I mean, granted, I love the ending. I do adore the Tag ending. I think it is, I think it's the perfect way to send off our characters, and it did make me cry. I would have liked to have seen it in CGI, 100%, but I'm still happy with what we got.
Yeah, I'm happy with what we got. And keep in mind that we would have gotten possibly a new map for Ether if, like, a lot of people didn't really shit on BO4. But at the end of the day, we knew what they went through. Like, Activision were forcing them to do shit, so many microtransactions. It's like, boys, like, there's not enough they can do if, like, their bosses, Activision, is forcing them to do shit that they don't want to do unless they want to lose their jobs.
Yeah.
And that's why I felt really bad for Treyarch, man. I was like, they're given us something at the end of the day, whether it's
Yeah,
new
like
or old content. They are given
like
us
it's
something,
their
and
fucking job.
they're being forced to do this shit as well. Like BO3, sure, a lot of microtransactions, like with the supply drops in multiplayer at least. But for like zombies, they literally just done whatever they wanted to do. And Activision, because they saw how well zombies did in BO3, they forced them to do a lot of shit that they really didn't want to do. But it's like Activision's are their bosses. Like, what do you want them to do? Lose their jobs and just zombies, Treyarch zombies specifically, to just never
Mhm.
continue? And like Modern Warfare never even had zombies. We might not even seen Infinity Ward like have zombies. It was supposed to, but got cancelled. And like Sledgehammer's supposed in next game. Who the fuck knows? But
I don't know.
that's why I felt really bad for Treyarch and BO4. I felt really bad.
But anyway, guys,
But
put you guys in chat. Put your 3 things that you'd like to see in future DLC maps in the chat. Also in the comments down below. And I'll read them after stream. So let's move into main topic number 4, which is now Mr. Waffle Waffle has released a video.
Milo.
He got some information. I don't know. Again, take this with a grain of salt because it's not been confirmed at all.
Yeah.
He got some interesting information that apparently, and this is including Firebase Z, we're getting 6 maps.
For season 1.
We're getting
This is
6 maps for Cold War Zombies. Now, this sounds promising. However, I'm not believing it 100% because a lot of stuff has been revealed for the future of Cold War that's not necessarily been confirmed or has turned out to be a complete and utter lie. So it's, I don't know, like, what do you guys make of this whole 6 maps in Cold War?
It lines up with the other leaks of like what the other maps are, like Nox Survival, and then like we have Firebase Z. That's confirmed. That was a confirmed leak. There's another one. We talked about it on Sam's podcast, but I forgot the name. It's a Kino remake that's coming in West Berlin, and then a Arctic map. I think it's gonna be similar
Frozen
to
Dawn
the
2.
yeah, like literally, it's similar to the Frozen Dawn, where like a part of the map is like on its side. It's similar to like Frozen Dawn and Die Rise.
Do you know what that reminds me of now that you said that? I can't. We said this last week as well. That there is a BO3 map that's wintry, a BO3 multiplayer map that's on its side, and it's got houses like facing sideways.
Oh yeah.
Yes, another one.
Yeah.
Fringe.
It has
Fringe? No,
it has
wasn't Fringe.
Carrington. It has Carrington on its side.
Is it the one that's got Sam's house in it?
Yes.
Yes. It's like floating off the map.
Hang on,
I
let
can't
me
remember what it's called. I want to say it's
BO3.
Fringe, but I know it's not.
multiplayer maps. It was one that was released on launch, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was
Yes.
on launch.
It is called
Infection.
Is it Infection?
does it. And Menobot said Infection, and I think that is what it's called.
Yes, it's Infection. Thank you, Menobot.
Yeah,
I've just got the picture up here, and yes, it's 100% Infection. Let me just.
I wouldn't be surprised if they used reuse assets from that map, and if they did, I think that would be cool as hell. Because, like, for all we know, we could be going somehow using Dark Ether power by accident. Maybe Requiem used Dark Ether power and somehow teleported back in time, and they're in Infection. Well, a bit of Infection, because they are mainly making new stuff now. And we see Samantha's house like flown off in the distance, and then she's just there in a midway cutscene. She's just like, I used to live there. Like, I think that'd be cool as hell. I think that'd be really cool.
I can't remember what the two other maps are called, but one of them is in German. It's like the Iron something.
The Iron Dragon.
Was this in BO3?
Yeah, that's in yeah. That map Infection. That's the map. Like, that picture that you have there, it's like on its side. That's Carrington.
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, I don't know.
That was a really good search and destroy map.
Yeah.
It was a good map. I think I pulled one of my best plays in that map. I think I got something like 22 or something like that. It was one of my best games ever.
Man, I love search and destroy in BO3. It was so fun.
There's so many good shit in
BO3's multiplayer mechanics were actually good.
It was a phenomenal MP.
Boys, so somebody he's just bet the D Machine Easter egg with a piano.
Say that again.
Can we get some pogs?
Somebody has just bet the D Machine Easter egg with a piano.
With a piano? How?
A piano.
How? Who?
Go on Absol Sweat. I'll retweet now so you can see it. But I finally bet the entire D Machine Easter egg with a piano. What the fuck?
Let me show chat. Let me show the stream this. Yeah, can you retweet it?
I mean, I've seen someone play CS:GO with a Dance Dance Revolution map.
Refresh. I don't know if this is fake. I've just seen this, but he's saying it. All I'm saying is that it's a possibility. I've seen people have done something with guitars on zombies, but it's like,
oh my god,
Jesus, is it a video? Oh my god, he actually did.
I can respect the fellow first try person. Congrats on being the D Machine Easter egg with a piano.
If you click the link, there's a video to it, and it's him escaping the room with a piano. That is nuts. He basically just used a keyboard to move. The way he's moving those. Oh god, that's pain.
Dude, that's so pog.
What am I watching? What am I watching? This is, oh my god, this is one.
He's turning. The way he's turning. How is that human?
Oh my god.
The D Machine Easter egg with a piano. With a piano.
I can't believe this is actually a thing.
Someone's gonna. This boy's gonna tell us about Firebase Z.
Jack.
Like.
Okay, Jack. I have the two names of the map, the two other DLC map names that were leaked.
Okay, yeah, go
on. I don't know how to pronounce this, but Mauer der Toten and Stusk Stale.
Is it Scuss?
Stusk.
Stusk.
So it's German.
Scully.
Stusk.
Well, I gotta give a props to that guy. Like, GG for being that freaking thing with a piano. Like, holy shit. That's made my day.
What the frick?
That has truly made my day.
Oh, somebody is not human in the zombies community.
First try as well.
Insane.
Here, Jack, I'll send you the names.
But nah, this whole like, I don't know, like 6 maps. I am intrigued. Mauer der Toten, that means Wall of the Dead. Wall of the Dead.
Donald
well,
Trump's
that's supposed to be the
Wall of
Kino remake.
Donald Trump's Wall of Doom Part 2 custom
I mean, here's the thing. That makes sense because West Berlin and Kino is in Berlin, so Berlin Wall.
Oh yeah, the Berlin.
But also, I mean, am I right in saying that Requiem can go anywhere in the world?
Yeah.
Yeah. What?
What about the Great Wall of China?
I find the Kino remake more plausible.
Yeah, but it's just
a
an
Great
idea.
Wall of China map as a possibility.
That'd be cool.
That'd be interesting.
Cool.
But no, yeah, I agree with you that the Berlin Wall seems more plausible.
Yeah. So the Wall of the Dead one is the Kino remake, and then the last one is according to other leaks, it's gonna be a Derice remake.
No! No! Don't!
I'm not pissed about it, but it's like, boys, for BO3 custom zombies people out there, you've played TZ Ghosts, DannWillz is declassified. Like, it's not needed.
Don't give us a DannWillz remake.
I just saw a face of disappointment in Jack's
I
eyes.
don't want it. I do not want a DannWillz remake. I don't. Like, that map has been played to freaking shit. Like, the amount of custom maps that are on the workshop for DannWillz. Like, I mean, and I'll tell you what. Yes, DannWillz Declassified is probably the best DannWillz remake since the original World of War DannWillz. Okay, and I will say that happily. We had Eric Maynard on the show to talk about that map, and DannWillz Declassified is freaking. It's probably one of the best custom maps on the store.
Yeah,
I just looked it up, and Stusk Stale, which is the DannWillz one, is it translates to Stusk of Steel.
It would be in a factory.
It's Polish.
DannWillz took place in Poland, and DannWillz translates into a factory.
No.
That's more possible. It's actually possible for it to be a DannWillz remake now.
No.
I don't mind it, but it's like, why?
I'm taking it with a grain of salt, but no.
I mean, but the thing is, what we talked about on Sam's podcast, it sounds interesting. Like part of the map's on its side. Yeah, and you have to use like portals to like get the travel around. Sounds interesting.
I want to see that shit.
Fucking DannWillz. Just no, like I don't want it.
The whole 6 maps thing, though, this is, keep in mind, Black Ops 3, and if we're talking charcoal only here, this is less than BO3. And BO4, as much as it got hate, this is less than BO4.
Yeah.
Like, if the maps are good, especially if it's a DannWillz remake, Jack, I'm just keeping you in check there. I'm taking it with a grain of salt. I'm not believing it until I see it, but keeping in check. If the maps are good, because the mechanics personally are already like fine for me. I love them, and a lot of people do. I know a lot of people do here as well, but for the majority of the community, a lot of people like them. It's really just the maps as a whole, because this game definitely rivals BO3. It's just content is what it needs, but as a whole, all they really need to do is make the maps good, and I'm really excited to see what Firebase Z brings, but a DannWillz remake though.
Yeah.
That'd be something. And like what Spike said at the end there, with like translating it into a steel, and like how it would be based around a factory, and DannWillz literally translates it being into a factory.
Well, it's the
there's
facility is called
a high
Giant.
chance now. Yeah, there's a high chance.
It's possible, but we just gotta wait and see how things go. But like I said before, it does line up with the other leagues. How we're also supposed to be getting eventually not survival, at least from way earlier, and transit re.
I've never seen more of it this man. You okay, Jack?
No, I'm not okay. I'm just not okay. You know what, Menobot? I agree with you. If we get a Kino and DannWillz, I mean, Kino. You know what? The thing is,
twice.
The thing is,
Kino
though,
would be
right?
Fine.
I mean, yes, Kino is an overplayed map, right? And yeah, it is. However, if it's more based on the Berlin Wall, I like that idea, and I'm excited to see that map.
What we talked about on Sam's thing was that it's going to be just parts of Kino, not the entirety of the building, parts of it. Oh, and also something I literally just remembered too. For whatever reason, it's going to have parts of Rocked in it as well.
Fuck, 2 words. Reused assets.
My boy Verrock Kino coming back, boys.
Like,
If a full-on Kino remake came back, the whole stage and everything, and it had an Easter egg, I would love it for that reason only, for it having an Easter egg. Because the one
It'll
thing
also-
I guess Kino
it's also gonna
fucking
pro-
had is an Easter egg.
It's also going
A
to take
main
part in
Easter
like
egg.
the streets of Berlin as well, of course.
So if it's not the full map, but it has parts of Verrückt in it, I would be
Yeah,
fine
it's just
with
gonna be
that,
parts of
honestly.
Kino and Verrückt.
I'm fine with that,
But
and if
it's-
it does have Berlin shit in there, I wouldn't say that's bad at all. I just think that's okay.
Yeah, I think that would be fine. That'd be more acceptable. Is a better word to say.
But the race.
The race, though.
like a few things from chat.
Goodness.
Craig F was saying that zombies will never move forward until we ever get his remix. Yes, that's true.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
That's definitely true, but they're well aware that they're not just going to rely on remakes forever. Because Firebase Z, it's new, and like Spike said, there's going to be an Arctic map possibly. So that would be
Fucking
believe-
Call of the Dead.
But what I don't get is like you start off with a Nats remake, reimagined, whatever the hell, right? And then you start off with a new map, and then the Arctic map supposedly being new, and then you end
Yeah,
off the other
I
two
believe
with remakes. That makes no sense. That's not what the community wants. I wouldn't mind it. I don't hate remakes, but it's like, why?
I believe what we talked about in Sam's podcast was that with Tusk of Steel, like it's gonna be Arctic map, and then the Derice part of it is gonna be inside an iceberg, and it's gonna be on its
Inside
side,
an
like I said before.
iceberg?
Yeah, it's gonna be inside an iceberg.
I like that idea.
I know how to get new maps. Let's take one old map and put them together. Here's your new map. Fuck my life.
I've never seen a face of a disappointed man for the past 10 minutes of my life.
Fucking Teresa. But what Madcap is saying in chat. Okay, but remember that the dude that said all of those leaks said that Eddie is Red Pole, and going from Firebase Z, Red Pole is that Russian dude and not Eddie, so these leaks could very well be fake. They should bring back some old remakes, but in the Cold War engine, the Rise and Drag, Moon, Transit, Die Rise, Buried. If we get Chronicles 2, and it has Transit, Die Rise, and Buried on a Cold War engine, I would love that.
That's what
I would not play Buried.
I know you wouldn't, because you hate that map to shit.
Spike, you hate that
Not
map
very.
to shit, man.
I would not play it. I'll play Die Rise and Transit all I want, but fuck Buried.
I'll definitely play
Dude, you know
Transit.
how-
Transit on a Cold
Dude.
War engine? Oh, that'd be so cool.
Dude, you know
Transit
how much
has so much potential.
Dude, you know how much Johnny J25 is going to say Cold War Zombies is the best game when Die Rise gets a
Oh, he'll
goddamn
fucking
remaster?
cream himself.
Yeah, he really would. Oh, this is just crazy. Oh, what? Oh.
Are you not letting it go?
No, I'm not! Because it's the race! Ugh.
Come on, Jack. Everybody likes a good bit of Derice here and then.
Well, I'm
It's
gonna
okay to
straight
add
up
a-
say this now.
It's good to
Derice
add another
has
fourth
been
map.
more overplayed and overdone than Kino, right?
Kino's only been made twice.
Three-
Not
well,
counting
thro-
customs.
well, if you count the Revelation section of it, that's 3 times.
Ah, right. Okay, right. I was thinking just the actual map. Right,
Fucking,
okay, that's true.
but the Reza.
Jack's gonna walk out from me. He's gonna shout, "No!"
Oh, I swear, I'd like if I do a reaction to that fucking trailer and I see the Deriza sign and the clock, I am going to flip my shit. I'm
Jack,
going.
got a question.
Yep.
You know how you said you delete Cold War off your PC?
Yeah.
if the old characters come back? You're
Yeah.
gonna do the same with Derice?
Yep.
Awesome.
Yep. I'll straight up say that now. I will.
When did Jason leave? Did Jason leave after Alpha?
After
Jade-
BO4.
Okay, right.
Well,
I'm gonna say
technically,
that's the
Madcap,
case
that's
on-
not true because we got remakes in
he was
BO4,
still working
and he was
BO4.
still the head of
Yeah,
zombies at the time.
He wasn't in the interviews for like Alpha, but he was there for Tag.
I believe so.
Oh, Spike. Okay, right.
Oh, I'm ready for the
Jack, don't
feud.
say anything. Jack, don't say anything.
I'm
Spike.
not saying anything. I'm
No,
ready
I
for
see
the.
chat.
I'm ready
looking
for
at
the
it.
feud.
Okay, right, we're dead. Right, we need to leave, boys.
Here, Jack, you want to pull up my tier list again? Just look. It just only see the F tier.
Is it only buried? Is buried only there?
No, there's other maps there.
Okay, I was about to say buried only there. I was going to say, damn, that's a bit harsh. Boys, like, is Burger Town there? Because I'm going to be honest right now, boys. I've been playing Burger Town recently. And I don't know what's wrong with me, because I like all the maps, but like Burger Town? That should be hitting different though. I've actually been enjoying playing Burger Town recently, and I don't.
Okay.
Still over.
Right, so let's move into the last main topic before I literally scream anymore. So the last main topic today is focused on you, Clarky. So,
Oh, what the frick?
yes, you're in the spotlight.
Jeez.
But so I'm sure all of you know by now that our man Clarky hit 4,000 subscribers on YouTube. You know, big congratulations to him for the hard work that he puts into it. But I just want kind of a. And by the way, Clarky, I did watch your video about kind of you had a new series planned for the channel. But I want to know kind of more about like what your future plans are for YouTube, kind of moving forward.
Are we getting into secret intel now? All right.
Well, you tell us what you want to tell us. We're not going to pry any information out of you. This is what you want to tell us.
Okay, right. If this is the case, I'm going to be genuinely honest. And God's sake, I hate rules, but you know what? Fuck it. Okay. I should to get to. This is going to be a long ass story. Just keeping everyone in mind here, but if anything, I should probably say from why I really started YouTube and where I started it in January the 12th, 2016. All like I was a dumbass. Still am, by the way. But I just simply thought it'd be easy and just go. I'll go up and get money. But obviously that wasn't the case. The channel was growing slowly. I'd make some like videos here and then. The first video I made was on a zombie MacBook. Really, the first proper video was me recording a BO3 Zombies video, and it wasn't with PS4 gameplay capture because I never knew it had that. And basically, I used an old camera that I had to record it. Gameplay footage was shit, but you could still see. And when I was editing for the first time, I thought I cut out the end bit, which was then my brother walking into the room, passing the camera, and I screamed at the top of my lungs saying, "Get the room!" But then on, the channel grew slowly. I was at 70 subscribers, and I'm gonna give a big shout out to my man Too Bad for Xbox here, because he actually had the balls to say this, and I've said this myself on my streams, but when it comes to talking to different people, I sometimes get like just not necessarily nervous, but it's like I don't want people like see me as if I'm a person because I don't do this shit anymore. But it's like straight up, I was a dumbass. I thought this was a good thing. I thought it was a way to get up there, but obviously not until I got told by the person who inspired me. Because someone in my school called Sam, he had a YouTube channel, amazing editor, everything. He was doing well, and he's who inspired me. And I really wanted to do better than him. He motivated me to do better than him because he never uploaded as much and he saw potential. So I was like, all right, I'll give it a shot. And I subbed for subbed. There you go. That's it. But I never knew. I genuinely never knew it was a bad thing. And then I got slagged at high school. Everything, just everyone would not stop talking about shit about me every day, every damn day. And it was strange, because I had my IRL friends as well who took the piss out of me as well. They are still my pals to this day, but it's like I never full on got clear communication that it was a bad thing. So I was like, are they jealous or something? And again, I was young, so I never knew it was bad until Sam. he came up to me and said, "Yo, listen, they're slagging you because this is not a good thing." And I'm like, "Oh, okay." He clearly because he done it as well, but he didn't do it like a lot compared to what I did. So because a lot of shit happened in high school because of that, I quit for 6 months. I just went on with my life, and I was in my second year of high school. It was just a lot of shit. I just hated second year. And then third year, I came back. Infinite Warfare released by then, and that's when I reached 400. I thought the whole subbing for subbing shit, but I don't know. It was strange. And then I went to go back to old games, doing Black Ops 3 and other shit. Black Ops 3, I started to just pop off. I started to meet more people, like a good friend of mine called Chris. I met people like Master Six. I still get in contact with them until this day, whether that be in my chat, Twitter DMs, whatever. All great guys, and I consider them great friends. And then how I really got to like from where I started at YouTube to 2K subscribers, I done Fortnite. I know that's cringy to say, but when it was popular, my friends told me that I should try it, and not just to play the game to like it, but to use it for my channel. I'm like, okay, I'll give it a shot. I gave it a shot, and I done really well. Played for subscribers every day, 24/7, streamed long hours, and just everything in general. I was just doing really. But Fortnite did start to die down. Still doing popular, but from my side of the deal for Fortnite, it just wasn't doing well, and I started to lose a lot of motivation. I was upset because I really wanted to do well on YouTube, and I was enjoying myself while the summer was still going at that time. And at that point, I was just like, right, you know what? I can either keep doing Fortnite and maybe still do popular, but feel demotivated on not doing what I want to do, or do what I want to do and not care about the numbers at all. That's what I went with. I made a video just saying, listen, I'm done with Fortnite. Well, not officially because I went back to it and I still think it's a good game with creative and stuff, but like actually like playing competitively, I don't find that fun. But people accepted it, people were happy, they were upset for the Fortnite people who were there for my channel, and when it went all there, I didn't care about the numbers, views or anything. But I was fully prepared for people to say I done something to get a lot of subscribers and just in general not get any views after that. But it turned out to be okay. But as days goes on, a lot of the Fortnite people who watch me have like don't watch my channel anymore, or maybe they do. I just don't know. But as a whole, they don't really come in and watch. And then after that, 2018, we come on, and October of 2018, I'm pretty sure. I was coming back from Florida at the time, and this is really where fuck, I need to be honest here. I can't hold this anymore. Shit really changed my life for the better. I was still in high school, like third year to like fourth year and fifth year. I was like doing fine in high school, like not the best grades because again I'm a but I was enjoying life. I was living. I've never felt so happy than before. And in general, like I was like I and this is why I said when I was on episode 27 podcast, I met the lads, the Z lads. I met Zazu, I met Too Bad for Xbox, Expert Fusion. I met my friend Chuck, Caleb. Sure, I never talked to him as much, but he was in there. And that was my first time ever using Discord and ever like talk to a group of other YouTubers who done content like me. And I was like, I've always wanted to be in a proper competition, so you know what? I'll go ahead. I'll go ahead and do it. Um, but you had to pay, and my friend saw that I wanted to go in. I never asked him, well, no, that's not true. I'm not going to be a dick. I did ask him, and because it was cheap, and he said, "Okay, sure," and I paid him back, right? But in general, I then entered the competition, and it was like Shadows of Evil, Storm, Voyage Realistic Challenge, Alpha Omega Speedrun, Horizon Track. I had a butt ton of fun. I ended up in fourth, and then after that, I started to talk with those people. My first, like, out of that group specifically, my first ever friend there was Xbox. A nice guy, amazing content creator, and he literally never gives up. Um, and the first time I played with him was on the Darkest Shore with another friend of mine, Perka. I really never talked to him as much, but again, I mainly did talk to Xbox first, so that's why I'm not pointing to Perka fully. But I talked to Xbox a lot. He became one of my best pals, and from then on, we started to play a lot. And then after that, I got invited to Zombies for Charity too. On a real, I was a big fan of E4C for just saving the lives of children in St. Jude's because I just like to help with everything I can do, along with just competition because I just am really competitive and I just really like to win. But as a whole, I joined because I just really, really just want children there, especially because 2020 this then took place. Or, well, if that was the case, Zombies Community Shutdown took place in 2019. Whatever the hell, I have small brain, but Zombies for Charity 2 then rolled along, and there was a lot of shit that went on behind the scenes. Well, not really shit, but just a lot of miscommunications. Some people left because they couldn't attend, but at the end of the day, we done the event. It was supposed to last 7 hours, lasted goddamn 10. But at the end of it, we raised over $6,000 St. Jude's, and that was all because of like all the people in that event that put their hard work and soul into it, like Zazu, the creator of the event, along with the help of Caleb, Xbox, Perka, a lot of people, and just for in general putting on a good show. It was amazing, and I met a lot of people through then. And the question you asked me, Jack, the last time I was on this podcast for between at the streams thing, that's when I really started to do it, just before Z. I done it because I felt like I owe it to everyone, whether I knew. They inspired me. They motivated me to do better, and my life was just happy. Like COVID was in a shit state, a real shit state. Everyone knows that. But obviously, when it comes to like me and my personal life, and again, I'm not trying to sound selfish as fuck, but again, like my work while I took place in this, I wanted to do YouTube as much as possible while I had this time off school. I then reached 3K thanks to them, and then I built up to 3.7 quick. Channel like was still at a good pace, but wasn't building up on subscribers or anything. But I really didn't care. And then I just feel like till today, I then made up 2 goals, which I'll get into in a sec. But Z4C2 raised $6,000, and I then talk to the lads basically every day. I meet new people as the days go on, and in general now, I've like met people like Greg and Pluto, and I've met DK, and even you lads, like you two. Like I have watched so many small creators that I thought were so goddamn cool, to the point where I thought I'd never like be in contact with them or even friends with them, or even to the point where they'd want me to be in videos with them. My life changed forever, and I was shocked. I could have been more happier in my life, because everything before them wasn't necessarily shit. It's just there was nothing. Everything was just blank. But there's more stuff to do now that I know friends and I know a lot of people, and the shit that I do every day, whether that be between out streams, doing my own content, or just trying to find a job, which I'm trying to in the midst of doing, but we don't talk about that. But in general, with this whole new series idea, and this is something that I really, when I decided my goals, 2 goals in particular, I'm really, really confident that I can reach. I just know it's going to take God forever. As a whole, like, let me think of it like this. The new series, all I was just, if my Easter eggs for Day series just represents around doing zombies, and with zombies, I done Easter eggs because I love tie rounds, loved doing them. I quitted doing Easter eggs after Exos, and then when BO3 came out, I just mainly done high rounds. I knew nothing about zombies after it, so I quit. I was blank dead, and then I got back into it, and yeah, you know the rest. Here we are. But as a whole, it was really strange because like the goals I have, it's like I'm never ever going to reach them by doing zombies. I always knew that, but it's like when your channel has grown on one thing in particular, whether that be say vlogging or doing business management, if you do that, whatever. But if your channel's popped off from one particular topic and yet you want to do something different, it's a really difficult decision to make. But I then realized that if I made the decision to do whatever the hell I want to do, and even though my channel's doing well now, why should I even care? And that's what I then went on to do. I then made the idea, and like you said, Jack, I made a video saying I might make a series. Just I don't have a name for it yet, but it's like I play whatever game I want. Say maybe I play a couple of Easter eggs on zombies. I'm like, you know what? I'm actually down to play some maybe Last of Us Remastered, or I don't know, something else. So it would work like my Easter eggs for Days series, but it's not just going to resound around zombies. It'd be I'm down for this game, and then the next like maybe few minutes or whenever I feel bored of the game I'm playing, I'll play the next. So that's the idea that I'm going for. I've done it on Twitch. I don't use Twitch. My main thing is YouTube. But if I was ever doing Twitch, I'd definitely do that. But on YouTube again, when it comes to doing something like changing to different content, it's difficult. So I wouldn't necessarily know how I go around doing this. Like I've had to the point where I'm like, should I do this? Should I not? I don't know. I'm still making my decision whether to do it or not, but it's still in my mind. But I then decided to say, listen, lads, I've now got 2 goals that are really important to me, and I've really not got that much time. And I tweeted out saying, I just a cryptic tweet. I normally don't tweet stuff out that revolve around me, just due to the fact that it's like I just don't feel like I'm important. Well, no one's special in this world at the end, but it's like I don't want to feel like I'm one of those like Facebook people. And again, no offense to these people, but it's like saying I need attention, help. But it's like I don't know. In general, it's like I'm not important. I'm not important. And the reason why I tweet out saying I've got until is because this year in particular is my last year of high school, and it's been difficult because grades have gone down because I haven't we couldn't set exams. Good grades to passed, but not the grades I was in. And then this year I might not even set them. Grades might not even be a thing at this point for this year. But struggling, and I've applied for some jobs here and there. Just waiting for some replies back. But as a whole, as of right now, there's just it's a struggle. And if anything, May is where shit's gonna hit, because I'd see that as my last like proper month of my teenage years. Like I'll be 18 by then, but it's like I don't know. Like I really need to change my life compared to the life I'm living right now, because ZWC3 is happening. Z for C3 is going to happen soon. I'm going to have to find a job. It's like, shit's not going to be easy, but I don't know. And when I then switched to different content, I was actually surprised to hear that it was actually doing well. People were happy that I was spreading to content. People were happy because the comments I received, if I was, listen, I need to start spreading out to more content instead of just zombies, even though I will still mainly do zombies. People were like surprisingly said they are here to see what games I post, and just whether that be games or not, sure. But people like I don't know why, but people just said they were here because they thought I was funny or they liked my personality or whatever, and that really caught me up by off surprise. And like, I got The Last of Us 2 for Christmas. I know that's a cringe lord of a game, I know. But I didn't ask for it. My mum never knew the game, so she got it for me. When I then got the game, I was like, you know what? If I'm going to stream different games, why not stream one of the most hated games out there as of right now? And that's what I did. That's what I then did. And once that happens, well, let me think. I streamed it for the first time, and it done well on the channel for a game that was heavily hated. It done well. I then done Alien Isolation, an old horror game which I was in kid but never had the chance to play. I played it and it done well on the channel, and I plan on doing like stuff like Resident Evil and stuff. And I'm pretty sure people will enjoy it. And rest in peace, my man's bike. I've probably been talking on for 5 goddamn hours. But where I plan to go in the future of my channel, fuck, I hate saying this publicly. My goal is to be world's greatest. Yeah. It's not going to be easy. I know there's definitely a lot of popular YouTubers out there. Mr. Beast's helping people 24/7, which is what I want to do on the channel, make people smile all around the world. And I'm referring to all 7 billion. Along with like even PewDiePie with his highest subscribers, or Sutton. I want to be I want my channel to be a place where I can actually become the world's greatest content creator. Not for my benefit though. I want to be for everyone's benefit, because everyone experiences shit in their life to the point where shit can really hit the fan, genuinely. And there's a lot of, and I'm not going to get into politics. In a sense, I would add a comment to it, but YouTube COS boys, we all know that. But there's a lot of shit out there in the world to the point where this world is literally broken. And I want to use the content that I make for this world to change necessarily, to make people happy, and a person who can just help everyone, whether I be far away or just whatever it is. I want to help with everything I can to just help or save someone. And again, with content creation as a whole, sure, YouTube can really just hit the fan with everything, whether that be its monetization or its false copyright systems, whatever. I plan on never giving up. I don't care how long it takes me, whether that be 5, 10, I don't even care until I'm 90. I want to become world's greatest. And I'm not planning until, I don't plan on dying when I'm get that goal done. Whether I'm struggling with finding a job or whatever, I plan on doing it. So, yeah. And honestly, thanks to all the people I've met, really, that goal can actually happen. Because, well, where I've gone far now is all because of people I've met. That includes you, Jack, Spike, Aquasol, everyone that I've met. To the point where I'd probably just be a tiny boy thinking I'd just be, wow, I'm not going to do that well. To the point where I'm at now. Whether 4K is a small number or not, the people I've met now, to me, it doesn't really matter about the numbers. Whether people subscribe to me or not, doesn't matter. I just want everyone in the world to know that nothing's impossible, in a sense. You can do whatever you want, really. And, well, sure, you'll have parents that are strict, but in a sense, that doesn't mean to say that you can really live your. Sure, it's difficult. There'll be difficult challenges along the way, no matter what. But nothing gets handed to you on a silver platter. And that's why, if you want to achieve something, it's not going to be handed to you. You need to work hard for it. And sure, I'm not putting in a lot of effort, and I am going to work harder to do more to reach the goal that I intend to achieve. Because I owe it to everyone who's gotten me this far. So, no, that's really it, to be honest. That's my goal.
Wow, that was. I think that was probably better than a lot of speeches that are done out there in the world. Like the chat is saying that this was so inspirational, and yeah, it was.
I haven't even checked the chat. I didn't want to check the chat, lads. Like I've said my goal a bunch of times on Twitter because I'm not saying it. I've said it once maybe on my channel, but it's like I get. Well, to be honest, I do get nervous when it comes to saying being world's greatest because it's like I'm a 17-year-old stupid ass teenager who thinks he can actually reach that goal. Sure, and it's impossible nowadays. But at the end of the day, like I said, nothing's impossible. And again, with the people that I've met, I owe it to all of them. And I don't think I plan on giving up yet until I've achieved it. So yeah, that's everything. To the start, to where I am now, and into the future beyond, we'll just need to see what that holds.
Well, all I can really say, dude, is I wish you nothing but the best and success in reaching that goal. Like no matter what you do in terms of your future with YouTube or even getting a job, just I wish you nothing but the best, man. Like you have a goal in mind, and that's good. People who have goals and know that they can put 100% of their effort into reaching that goal is always top dollar. And yeah, exactly as Lewis said, put your mind to something and you will do it. That's 100%. Yeah, I agree with that.
That is, Lewis, you're speaking true facts, man.
So, but yeah, no, I wish you nothing but the success in that, dude.
Well, I thank you for that, Jack. Thanks to you and many others, I can.
All right, guys, Clarky's links to his YouTube channel and his Twitter should be down in the description. So please go give him a follow, go give him a sub, and be sure to support him in whatever he does, whatever he decides to do next.
Big things.
Big things.
I'll say this. Towards a brighter future. Well, no, maybe not a bright future. To a repaired world, to the point where nothing's just broken, I guess. Because the shit this world's in right now, I'll make sure it gets better.
Okay, guys.
That's a promise.
Right. Well, that will conclude this episode of the podcast. But one more very quick thing. You guys probably don't know about this, but there was a war veteran who came down with the virus, who's currently in hospital. But I wish him and his family nothing but the best. And yeah, it's pretty weird world out there. But yeah, anyway, guys, that's going to wrap up this episode of the podcast. Hope you all enjoyed if you did. And thank you for 10 likes. Thank you to everyone for hanging out in the chat. This was great. Thank you again, Clarky, for coming on. Really appreciate that, dude.
No problem, lads. My ZombSquad Podcast, telling you, one of the best podcasts out there. Don't follow Squad.
Thank you, man.
You all are high. You all are high.
Thank you, man. Really appreciate that. And we will be back next week for episode 42, where we'll be discussing our thoughts on Firebase Z itself. And I'm hoping there's a particular guest that we have eyed, but I'm not going to say who it is yet. You have to wait and see. Anyway, guys, take care, and we'll catch you all in the next episode.